Hey, what's up, everybody? The Commissioned Officer's Guy coming back at you with another node in the journey of military transition off of active duty. So today, as I submitted my notice to the personnel desk that I would be retiring off of active duty, and they needed to list my billet in the upcoming billet list, I got a very insightful note back from a senior officer. A lot of good information in there, but some of it wasn't. And I thought a good opportunity to point out and highlight the fact that some people have great information. They've also got information that isn't necessarily asked for and may not even apply because they didn't ask the question, right? They assumed one thing or another about my specific situation. And I think we're getting ourselves into trouble with that. So here he opens up with a nice note because he's going through the transition now as well, a retirement, after 20 plus years of service. We were talking about timing and grade, and I got confirmation that my time and grade is good for my requested date of retirement. So we're all set there. With the Navy Standard Integrated Personnel System, he was talking about when I could actually submit the request for retirement through the Navy's online NSIP system. And we've got to be careful with this because there's a couple of things that can trip us up if we're not cognizant of it. For a retirement date in July or August of 2022, I would need a TIG waiver to submit that in advance of my 3 years at the rank of commander. Given that my request is after my 3 years in grade, I'm all set. He also told me that I can submit my retirement request in August or September this year, 13 months out from my anticipated and requested retirement date. He also notes that the retirement orders are being approved and released about 6 months ahead of the date, so I should expect mine in about a year. My retirement order should be released in about a year from now, if the retirement's approved. Here I was talking about payback requirements, as I note here, for my time at NDU at Eisenhower School, and I do meet that requirement by July of 2022. And I also asked for a subject matter expert for retirement questions, and for the Navy that's PERS 835, Navy officers anyways, that's PERS 835. And here he went beyond what I had asked for, and some of this is good, and some of it is extremely cautionary. So I've highlighted it green, yellow, and red. From my perspective, based on my situation. So this was great here. Make sure to submit retirement orders and not separation orders. So for those of you separating, you would submit separation orders, of course, but for those retirees, we might not have noted the difference between separation and retirement. So I'm glad he pointed that out. I appreciate that. Again, he said requests could get hung up if the wrong one's selected. That's the bureaucracy trap would catch you and trip you up. That's why we need plans, right? That's why I need a plan on a team. So you got people watching your flank. All right, so get with your military support office. That's locally to see how soon I can get my retirement package and paperwork. Unbeknownst to him, I'd already done that. So I'm all set with respect to the paperwork I need to fill out locally. Yeah, and as soon as possible. So the DD-214, that's that's the form that we get showing that we served, and I don't believe that's issued to us, and I believe it's issued electronically now, and you got to log into a website to get it. But that's not available until the last day on active duty. Now he says do your TAPS courses early. I did my TAP course last November at my 2-year mark for retirement purposes. I'd actually taken another one years ago as a transition assistance program officer as well, because I was curious about what the people that I was helping, so quote unquote helping, were getting. And TAP is trash. TAP is a trap. If you're dependent on TAP alone to take care of you, you're setting yourself up for failure. TAP is a part of it. It is assistance. That's what the A means, assistance, and that's it. And then not only that, you've got the government bureaucracy that are assisting you. So you get what you pay for, and with free, well, it may not be what you want. Let's see. So then he moves in to see if certifications from tapevents.org courses will work, and this is a good resource to use. Actually, this should have been green, because if you want to forego sitting through a TAP course virtually or in person, you can go do this on your own online. And I would recommend anybody to do this on their own online right now to get ready for your inevitable transition off active duty, because it's happening to all of us at some point or another. And there's information in here that you need to be acting on now, not waiting until the end of service life, whether or not it's 5 years or 35 years plus. So it's good stuff. That's a green. But red, start getting to medical and get everything documented. See, waiting until the end of service life to do that, why? We need to be taking care of our whole health throughout the entirety of our service time. This is what tripped me up. I had sleep apnea for probably a decade, if not longer. That impacted my working ability with colleagues at work, and it affected my home life too. So he recommends 12 to 9 months out to request a copy of your medical record and go through it page by page. If you're looking at this 12 to 9 months out, you're already behind the power curve, behind the 8 ball, and you're hurting. At that point, your medical needs to be tight and done. And I'm at this point right now. I'm 12 months out, and I just got to come to an understanding about what I need to do on that medical front. And I am constantly setting appointments and whatnot, but we got to be doing this throughout the entirety of our service time and linking it to the VA disability claim requirements so that we understand that process and are documenting our physical ailments throughout our entire time in service, so that if we do by chance get caught up or have to get out of service on short notice, then we're ready, right? Big M mission of life, readiness planning. There's nothing we didn't do for our weapons platforms, and I truly believe we can do it for our individual families and ourselves, because nobody else is going to do it for you. All right, this was great. Make sure all your ailments are documented and that all out-in-town medical visits are there as well, because what he's saying here is without in-town medical visits, those records don't make it back into the military medical system. You've got to do that yourself. And if you've used outside providers in the past, you need to figure out how to get a hold of them, get a hold of those records. And then I've made another content elsewhere that tells you exactly how you go about submitting those medical records, copies of those medical records, into your military medical record. Much deeper dive to go into that. So that way, yeah, if something's missing, you've got time to contact the place and get copies. Here he says 76 months out, request the rest of your record. And if you received everything, request give you all paperwork from 2 October to present. Again, I think it's too late. You need to be constantly doing this quarterly throughout time in service, not waiting until the end. Yeah, he's right here. At 6 months out, you submit your digital copy of medical record to the VA rep, but I disagree with this is not right, actually. You don't wait until 6 months out to start thinking about your medical disability claim. You're way too late by that point. No, you start prepping for this at the earliest possible time, and then you're getting smart on VA processes up until then. And I'm taking a great course now. I'm going to give a shout out to VA. Where are you at? VA Claims Insider. I just finished Module 1, Lesson 5. I went through the Module 1, the strategy, today. And man, let go of that cash. Pay money to go faster. I'm telling you, he saved me months, if not years, of time and heartache. And is going to put money in my pocket because I'm doing it right the first time and not having to mess around with it after active duty. So every visit from here on out that I go to military medical to see, I'm going to have in my mind, in my back pocket, the tools that are required in order to file my VA disability claim. And therefore, it ought to be a slam dunk at my benefits delivery at discharge appointment in April of next year. That'll be about 6 months out from my retirement date. And we're going to be cooking with peanut oil. And then I'll be focused on building this business, taking care of my family, relocating, doing everything I need to do to hit the ground running past that Liberty event and the quote retirement unquote. So let's see here. And he offers employment aspects. And see, I'm not gonna be a wage slave after service. With the pension and this opportunity of Liberty Accelerator program as the Commissioned Officer's Guide, I'm building my own business. I looked into American Corporate Partnership. Actually, it's American Corporate Partners, and used them about 2 years ago and decided that corporate America wasn't for me. Onward Opportunity is very limited in focus with respect to employment, a certification. And the economy today, I'm sorry, man, but people don't, it's going to be hard. If you're dependent on certifications to make you eligible for employment out in the economy, I think you're going to be in a world of hurt. Again, he's just now taking project management courses and getting his PMP exam done. Why wasn't that done 10 years ago, or 15 or 20? Like, why are we not using these credentials in service? Heaven knows we need the expertise of these skill sets in government. Why are we waiting until the end to take them and get these credentials? I didn't. I got a Certified in Logistics, Transportation, and Distribution credential from APICS, now known as the Association for Supply Chain Management, about 4 years ago, because I didn't understand why we weren't trying to hold ourselves to the same standards as industry. And that was a great program. It cost me about $800. No, they didn't pay for it, but I paid for it myself, and I valued it more because of that. It's amazing what you pay attention to when you pay for something, as opposed to getting it for free or taking the time to find the free stuff, as opposed to just paying for the information, like I did here with VA Claims Insider, and moving out equipped and informed and ready to go win the battle. Let's see here. So again, he's right with this. Do the homework and know what benefits you most. But again, with Liberty Accelerator and the planning teams that I assemble, like, you'll have been planning your entire career. And if not then, you start now, so that you know what the hell it is you want to do when you grow up, and you're meshing that service time with that long-term goal. So he says his transition hasn't been too bad. I'm going to get with him again in 6 months and a year and see how it's going. He says he asked questions early and started working everything about the 1 year mark. Yeah, that's a bad plan, man, especially for retirees. Not enough time. If you're at 18 years of service, you got to be thinking about this now, because you're at that 2 year mark of potential retirement. If you are past your first operational tour, you're about 2 to 3 years behind in getting started on this stuff, because you could get out, or the government could say, "Now we're done with you. We don't need this amount of services anymore." We got to get ready. That's what this is all about, is getting our military families and service members big on mission ready for life in service and far beyond. So he even says if you can knock it out earlier, even better. But you got to have a plan. You got to have structure. Like, we can win this transition war, but it takes different thinking than some of the red and yellow things I highlighted in this statement from senior folks. So again, he offered me to pass along the info to anyone else. Again, it's all free. Get what you pay for. Yeah, and I'm going to post this to social media. That's why it's here on my Liberty Accelerator YouTube channel. And don't keep it to yourself, man. Watch your buddy's back. Don't stab him in the back, right? Watch their flank. Take care of your people. Take care of your senior leadership. Take care of yourself and your family. All right, then. That's another edition of what I'm going to refer to as the, what is this guy? Liberty Accelerator tour, the Transition Insights Bulletin. So that's I think that's number 2 of Liberty Accelerator Transition Insights Bulletin. All right, then. That's all from the Commissioned Officer's Guide. We'll see you in the circle.